Imagine a spiritual pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal. It's the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence show with Dr. Brie Gibbs, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside of Goddess Bell, the creator, and other masters, will share information never before released on the planet to help guide and evolve humanity, and along the way, heal the 4 dimensions of body, emotions, mind, and spirituality. This show is about true spirituality, offering a new earth narrative and effective path to well-being as it accelerates the journey of our spiritual evolution to keep pace in this rapidly changing world. Get ready to emerge the goddess within each of us, both the feminine and the masculine. If you have any questions about yourself that you have no answers to, this is the show for you. Let's emerge together and emerge better. Now here is your host, Dr. Brie Gibbs.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Brie. You know, I watched a movie on Netflix, and it was the cutest movie ever. Children were writing letters to God and mailing them at the post office. Not just in the regular mailbox, they would have to take them down to the post office. And I thought, how many times do I pray to the Creator? I say Creator. Other people say God, so my preference is Creator. So I thought the subject over after I watched the movie. The children were writing these letters asking for the parents to quit fighting, or some would say, I need new basketball and my parents don't have enough money. Can you get them enough money? I mean, how many times we talk about manifesting for ourselves, right? And then I delved into it deeper and I went, wait a minute. If we actually write this letter, how will it affect the mind thought set pattern? So in our brain, we have a filter. So every thought that we come down will go into the heart, and the heart is filtered. And by the time it comes out of the wrist and through the fingertips, if you're typing on your computer or whatever, it's all filtered, so nothing can be damaged in the body on all 4 parts: body, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So I really thought about this, and I thought, how many times in my own prayers have I gone from one subject to another and went, oh, wait a minute, that's wrong. I got to go back to this one. I thought, it's got to be confusing for the Creator or Master Jesus to hear me. And that's just with me. I'm just that way. And it's like, I don't ground real well. We'll just say that. And so writing these letters, I thought, what a subject this could be on how we could learn to slow down enough. Write these letters either in a journal or on your computer, print it off, take it to wherever you want it privately, in your office or at bed at night, however you want to do it, and either read it out loud or read it in our mind, and then set it on your bedside table where our guides and angels can have them. And we have a very special Master Merlin, that has a photographic memory. So, they're going to go right up right away with that one. And so I want to talk to you about that. I think where I want to start, Teresa, right now is, how do you feel about this idea?
I personally think it's a good idea. I have a lot of clients that have even explained to me that they use journaling. And sometimes in their journaling, they'll write a prayer. And it's very freeing. And it also really helps you clarify your thoughts and just really express how you're feeling. It's a very emotional release of things. So I think it's a wonderful practice.
Well, I found my journal, and this starts with start today. Because after thinking about it, I went, wait a minute, there is a better way of doing it. I thought, if I could just sit down and write this letter and have it there, I could look at that numerous times to see where my own thought patterns were messing up and what I might need to change. Because we always go, Creator, help me with this, or Creator, help me with that. But if we don't take the first steps ourselves, is the Creator really going to help us with all of that? A lot of people think, oh, they're just going to answer that prayer immediately. I've been in that same guilt thing too, also. Like, why isn't this done now? Why can't we get this done now and over with and let's move on to the next step, right? No, it doesn't work that way. It's timing is everything. So when you're writing these letters, you're actually setting down your timing for your own manifestation also and what you want in your life. So let's get down to the segments right here. The other thing is have you ever thought what kind of processes would look at this? These letters are personal. Whether you want to write to Buddha, the creator, Master Jesus, or whoever you write to. It could be someone that has transitioned off the planet and you want to write a letter to your mother or your son or whoever. These are different things I want to talk about. So let's start with writing to the creator. Teresa, as we write to the creator, I think of many things that I need. But the one thing that I think about is how many times do we not thank the creator for what he's done already for our lives? And it's important. What do you think?
I agree. From my own personal practice, I'm big on gratefulness, and
Right.
I am always grateful and appreciate any help that's offered to me. But I've also learned sometimes it's really hard for people to ask for help verbally.
Mhm.
And this is a way that's very personal that people might be more comfortable asking for help.
Very true. Very true. And all these are personal. I would not share mine with nobody.
Mhm.
So this is going to be a daily thing for me. The other thing is that thanking the creator is so important. He works so hard for all of us.
Mhm.
Um, I have the privilege to have one guy that I know for a fact how hard he works and how hard all my guys, I'll call my team, works for me to keep my everything going in my life. And for the job that I'm here to do. It's not just a job, it's a darn mission. Okay, so but the things I have to go through. But in writing the Master Jesus, I have to say something. When my mother transitioned off the planet, how we had to clean up our parents' home or whatever, right? I seen a journal she had, and I didn't even think about this journal till I saw this movie. And in the journal, she was writing the Master Jesus the whole time.
Hmm.
I thought it surprised me. And I have the little book small little leather book she was writing in here. And it was just like simple things, from very small, simple things to very large things.
Mhm.
But it made her happy. But those messages got through. So it's an old technique when you really think about it.
I bet
So,
that makes you feel not so alone sometimes. For a lot
yes.
of people that maybe are feeling very alone and not heard, what a great
Mhm.
process.
Yeah. So as we're doing this process, um, I want to explain this process first of all, right now. This we got the opening. So the mind is filtered right here. Okay. As you're bringing in your thoughts, it's being filtered, coming down into the heart, then coming back up and out through your shoulders down to your arms. And we have a filter right here on our wrist. So anything that should not be going through will not go through the fingertips on the pen or on your keyboard. Um, and you have a chance, you can read over it. No, that's not quite what I wanted to say. Help me find another way. Ask your guides to help you even. Sometimes they sneak in a word, like don't use that word. All of a sudden you're thinking, I don't want to use this word. And I don't want to say love. I want to show compassion. So instead of putting love down, I put compassion sometimes in my head, right? Because nobody's going to take away my compassion. I'm over compassion. I will admit that. But that's just who I am, and I won't change who I am. The other thing is my limitations. They say don't limit yourself. Well, I don't like boundaries because then you're hooked to the boundary. So I just know what I it's where my limitation is as a goddess as much as I can help. Then there's a time I have to back off and say, I can't help this person anymore. What would I do? It's going to be in this journal. Creator, this person needs help. Can you help them? And, you know, it will get to their angels and their guides. You know, you can send love and light out to all over the planet. But sometimes writing it to the creator might be just a better idea in some ways. So the other thing is we're going to delve much deeper into this. We're going to go break here in about 2 minutes. But the one thing I want to explain is the thought patterns of this process is so easy and simple. We just don't think about it that way. I think it's important that we realize that you don't have to be perfect when you write these letters. You don't have to know exactly the right words to use it. Let it come from your heart, your true heart, and let the creator know how you feel. Don't be angry with him. It's not his fault, the mistakes we made. No, they always say there's no mistakes. Well, I've made a couple of mistakes. I will admit it. And I've been kind of told by my guys, I will admit that too, that was wrong. So, it's not limiting yourself, just the limitation that you know what you can do and what you can't do. What do you think about that, Teresa?
I agree. We've talked around that quite a bit on some of our previous shows about, we call it balance, or knowing how much you're really helping somebody versus enabling someone.
Right.
And that the journey belongs to each of us, but we are all here for guidance for each other too. And that includes the other side as well.
Right.
It's about guidance, not always doing everything for you.
Right. And believe me, I don't get everything done for me. I'm going through something right now, and it's like, I have a sore throat. It's like, let me just get through this show. I'll be fine. And what's really funny is I don't even feel the throat tickle really even happening right now. So it's like, help me through this show, and then I will keep my mouth quiet and drink my hot water, lemon water, whatever I'm going to have, and I'll be fine. So we're right back in a little bit with Teresa and I and God. So merge together, emerge better. Welcome back, everyone. So during the break, I was really thinking, I want to delve deeper into this because you know what came up in my mind? How the ego gets involved. I was like, well, thank you, whoever put that in my head. So it's really true. So if you your ego, filter the ego or push it out of the body, you gotta go right to left is how I push it out, and leave it out for while you're writing this letter. Because it can be confusing. Sometimes we lose our concentration. That's one part I just figured out. Oh, my ego wasn't paying attention to what I said. The other thing is the conversation I'd like to have with the creator, our master Jesus. If the ego's involved, it can also throw you off there. So that's one thing. The ego can really trick us to get our minds off things. It's a duality, balance, whatever you want to call it. It's something we have to live with, but at the same time, we can control it. There's people that say, well, I have a big ego. Get over yourselves, guys. You do not. And, some people will say that, right? And I just go, oh, get over yourself. You're fine. Yeah. But they're thinking of the human ego, not the spiritual ego. And there's a big difference there. So let's go back to the thought patterns of this process. So as you're writing, like I explained, the filters and everything, take everything into your heart. Everything's been filtered from your brain into the heart, so it will not hurt your heart whatsoever, either the beater part of your heart. And as you do that, you're able to release the words a lot easier. A lot of people have questions for the creator. Well, the creator can only answer so many questions. Some of it takes your work to also to look up the answers for yourself. The one thing I learned a long time ago, I was going from a procedure, and one of my guides said, If you are not doing things on the human level, how do you expect us to do things on our level? And that's very true. They work together. And so with that also is writing these letters, releasing emotions. So as you write these heartfelt letters that are very personal, you can release emotions without even knowing about it. But it's your responsibility to keep them away also. Because our minds can play tricks on us and bring them back into us, and you don't want that to happen. There's a lot of class out there that say if you do this, this, and this, it will go away. Well, it takes work for this, this, and this to go away. Believe me, I have one little small temper, and I just said it out loud. It's not small, believe me. I have a temper, and I'm working on it. It's like that is one of my problems I have, and I've done everything. But then I started thinking, why do I have the temper I have? She said, why do you think?
There may be times when you need that because maybe there's a firmness there that comes from that as long as you can manage that and filter what's coming out of your mouth, out of your fingers, so it's not necessarily bad. It's just how are you going to work with it? Whether it's your
Right.
temper, your ego, or
So being in Twine Goddess is a little bit different. And with me, I'm about truth and justice.
mm-hmm.
And when I see something that's unjust, yeah, it's not filtered sometimes. I have witnesses. But do I need to filter it? And it's calmed down a lot. Had some help to be able to calm it down. And thank goodness for the guides I have and my whole team that was able to work on me to calm it down. But yet there's still that temper as a goddess. We love deeply and unconditionally. But will we set things straight if we can? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Cleansing and releasement. During these letters, you can ask to be cleansed and release of so much turmoil in your life. And it's going to take work on your part to do it. But yet at the same time, it's something that we can do. They can help you with. There's a cleansing they can do from the crown all the way through your body. Call a wash, cleanse everything out of you. It's your responsibility to keep it up. The other things you can do is surround yourself in light in different colors that you may want to help keep everything in center of you. So you stay in centered and everything's centered around you. It's kind of like this. When you're writing these letters and you're going, okay, I'm going to sit with my journal. Okay, I'm just going to pretend here for a while. Sit with this. I'm going to write this and this and this and this, right? And then the dog barks or at my house, or I go, oh gosh, I forgot to do the dishes. What's more important, the letter, the dog barking, or the dishes? Which one do you think, Teresa?
Well, I definitely think your letter would be more important. Nobody's going to do the dishes, and the dog may not quit barking.
And at my house, you're right.
Yeah.
But the thing is seeing all that and making a decision what's more important. And yes, you can take a break from writing the letter. You can. I was like, I'll be right back or whatever, right? But you have to put that down. But it's like, for me, I'll be right back. Um, but the clarity and the confidence you get from writing these letters is amazing. Have you ever thought what you wake up to the next morning? That's one thing I want my audience to listen to. How will you wake up after you write that letter? It doesn't mean that you're going to manifest a whole bunch of cash. It doesn't mean you can manifest a whole bunch of stuff. This is a personal letter of what you're asking the creator for. It could be just knowledge. Abundance is knowledge. Abundance is new friendships in your life. Abundance is someone that will not walk away from you. Abundance is not always money. And a lot of people don't like that I say that, but it's true. Abundance is your guides and your angels watching over you, your guardians. So those are things that you might want to think about putting in your letters and thanking the Creator for your guides and angels and your guardians that you have. All right. So handwriting or typing? What do you think, Teresa? Which one do you think would be the best?
I think it depends on the person.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on the person. Sometimes I find I'll go slower if I handwrite because I type faster than I handwrite.
Right.
But I think it depends as long as you're using your filters and you're thinking about what you're doing.
So handwriting is actually a really good way to do it. It's making you think, write slower, and know what you're putting down there. When we sit there and type, you're like me, fingers go, mistakes happen, fix it. Okay, that word doesn't sound right. Grammarly comes up. No, that's not the right word. But when you're writing it in a journal, you can't help but not have to change what you're writing.
That's right.
Cross it out. Say, okay, that word I don't want to use. Yeah, that didn't sound right. That didn't feel good in my heart. Is that respectful? So those are things that need to be looked at also. A lot of people are afraid to write down their feelings. And it's a form of therapy also. And who's the safest person you could write your feelings to without being judged? Is your guides, your angels, the Creator, Master Jesus, or Master Buddha, whoever you'd like these letters to go to. There is so many people that think, oh, they're not going to like what I have to say. Get over it. They accept you and love you for you. That's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if it's not quite what you think they want to hear. With my team that I have, they have surprised me on how they really are. It's like, all the stuff we've heard about in the past about our guides and angels, you're thinking they don't have a sense of humor, or they're very strict, or they just will not understand us. Well, I will tell you, in my situation, yes, they're strict. Do they have a sense of humor? Oh, you betcha. And do they love me for who I am? Do they love Teresa for who she is? Yes. And do they all love you for who you are? Yes. We have a minute for the last break. So before another break, I want to say something real quick. Give your guides and the Creator and these a chance. Listen to them. You may all of a sudden have a thought dropped in your head like, why did I just do that when I know that was wrong? Or why am I not laughing and enjoying my life and living my life every day? The thing is, somebody had told me, tomorrow's never promised to none of us, and that's very true. But you know what? Every day we live here, we just live, enjoy your life, and put that in your letter. I know with me, it's like a constant journey of living on this planet to the fullest. And right now I'm going to a form of transition and that I have to go through. I'm not transitioning out of being a god. It's just something that's happening with me personally. And it's like, as I go through it, it's like, okay, one day at a time, one moment at a time. And in my letter, it will have a lot of this in there. So I think the Creator's going to end up with maybe a couple pages tonight. Anyway, we'll see you right back, which is 9 God's Emergence. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So during the break, I was looking at my notes here and I'm going, writing a letter to the Creator, Master Jesus, Master Buddha. Why would you? Why would you, Teresa?
Wow. I think a lot of times we just forget to ask for help We forget that we have a team assigned to all of us. And why wouldn't you want to get better? Why wouldn't you want to just sit down and help yourself clear, release, rejuvenate, and ask for help? We all have things we want every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to ask for help. And I think we've been taught a little bit not to ask for too much, you know? And I think that's a mind thought pattern we have to sort of overcome that says it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to ask for help. I mean, I work at that one because I'm used to being the doer, not
Right.
the worker. And I think for a lot of us, maybe that's it, that sometimes we don't use our team on the other side like we could. And they like to help as much as you and I like to help. And so give them a chance.
You answered that perfectly. Thank you, because it's so true. They wait for us to ask for help. Excuse me, my throat. They wait for us to finally say, I surrender, I'm here. I know that happened with one of my things. I had to finally surrender over to it. And it was the best thing I had ever done. I would not have the relationship I do with one of my guides. And I'm so thankful for that. You think about a lot of people just think of surrendering over to the Creator or to Master Jesus. There's much more than that out there for us. And one really shocked me one time that showed up at where I was having the healing done. And I said, okay, fine. I said, I surrender. I surrender. I give. And it wasn't that anything bad, but the joy that's come out of it. He's part of my team now. And the joy that's come out of it and the answers I've received and the things I've wondered all these lifetimes about this certain guide that I have and the certain being that a lot of us talk about, why I had that connection. And I have that answer now, and that's very personal to me, and I'll leave it that way. But when we write these letters, you can write them to anybody. But the thing is, how does it affect everyone, first of all, when you write the letters? What do you think, Teresa?
Well, we like to say that everything's connected, right? So maybe that vulnerability, I'll call it vulnerability, really helps everyone else maybe take that next step. It's somehow you might wake up knowing to do something totally different than what you did, and we don't always know where that comes from, but it's like the 100th monkey kind of thing,
right?
Where one's helping another or reaching out or searching for answers. We're such a society of searching for answers and information. But maybe if we just surrender to our team and ask for that help, it begins to have this ripple effect out to everyone. And maybe, just maybe, life gets easier. That's my personal belief on it.
Right. The one thing I was told, you got everything inside of you. Why are you asking so much? I was like, because I want to know. Well, you got it inside of you. I like one that says, guys, you know better than that, or guys, this, but it's all inside of me. And they're very true. And I keep teaching that also. But even I get sometimes insecure and want the answer. Well, sometimes the answers aren't given to us right away because we already have them.
Do you think sometimes that when you write like that perhaps that answer comes from your own higher self?
Yes. Yes.
That is part of you.
Or has the Creator, or when you guys shoved a little note in your head, like during the time I think during the break, all of a sudden I got the ego put in my head. Like, oh, I better talk about that. Because can the ego mess with all of this? Yes. Can't tell you, oh, your hair doesn't look the greatest. They make you feel like it. You go, yes. Or maybe they got the wrong sweater on or whatever. It's like, so that's one thing is once it's filtered, those thoughts can't really come through that much. But like I said, if it's that bad, send that for a walk. I loved how Pierre Lee, remember her, and Colin that we had on the show before. They said they would take the ego for a walk around the block. No kidding. Mine needs to go about 3 times around the block. Okay.
Time limit on mine.
You're out for 2 hours. I'll see you in a couple
That's
hours.
exactly what I do.
Okay. Okay. And the other thing is, how does it affect your family the next day after you wake up? What do you think?
Got to be more positive. It works for me. Sometimes you just wake up in a really good mood and, wow, I wonder why. Or you wake up with, you're not going to do this, but you're going to go do this, and it just works out for everybody.
Right.
It lightens the mood.
It does. And so I woke up the other day in a really great mood. I was not going to let nothing upset me. And it didn't. It's like I have some situations going on, as you're aware of. And it's like, no, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to fight with them. I'm not going to argue with them.
Mhm.
I'm just going to let it go because it's really not worth it to me. I'd rather be who I am, where I allowed the outside world to infiltrate into my personal life.
Mhm.
And as a spiritual leader, as a goddess, that is something that should not be around me. And I know that. So it's like, okay, wait a minute now. What do we do now? So anyway, so it's like that. But the thing about it is it can be anything we decide to do, with this. So okay. So and the one thing is like, sometimes I'll wake up and have people say, "You're in a good mood. What's wrong with you?" Nothing. I just woke up this way. Can I put $1 in you? Nope. That's just me. Anyway, so all right. So where are we at here?
But imagine waking up every morning in a happy mood and just being happy. It's a great place to be. Great place to be.
Right. So okay. Here's on here. Sorry. I just got a question. I can't tell something's going on here. Anyway, so here we go. Let's talk about this. Starting with yourself.
Hmm.
Okay, let's start my question. Thank you to my producer. Thank you very much. Um, so starting with yourself, what would be the first thing you'd want to know, Teresa, in a letter?
The first thing I would want to know in a letter.
Mhm. You
What?
don't have to be real personal, just something.
Yeah, what can I help you with? What can I help you with? I
What
want
can I
to
help?
know how you're feeling.
And a letter to creator
Mm-hmm.
and how you could help him.
Sometimes I do.
No, that's great. I
Sometimes
mean,
I do. I'm grateful. And it's not always about, sometimes me, it's help me know what I can do for you. How do I shine my light more? And sometimes I do that. It's not always about me, but it's about me, but not always directly about me. You see what I mean?
right. I love what you just said
Yeah. It's
because
like,
I
how
was just like going,
can I help you?
right. So it's like, okay. When you said that, it was like I just wanted to smile, like shine my light. It was like, oh, she's got it. That's great because we're always dependent on the creator, but he needs our help also to bring the messages through, like we're doing, to do our journeys. And I asked him one time about the homeless. I want to know, was it in their contract? Yes. Are they part of the light? Yes. All of them. So that was something I wanted to know. So that made me think even harder because you know how I'm an advocate for the homeless.
Hmm?
And I was just like going, okay, that gives me even more to think about now. Because, the one thing is judgment against them. I see it too much.
Mhm.
I've seen them where they move from their little housing area to another, find another place and another place. And, there's something going on. I'm going to bring up about this right now. And I'm getting a soapbox for a moment here. I heard that a certain garbage company. I'm not going to say where we got 1 minute left. So this is a real good ending with the 1 minute. Is going to put AI programs on the cameras so they can see if we can recycle right, if we do it right. Otherwise, they're going to give you a ticket. Please take that money and give it to the homeless shelters. Okay, I said it. We'll be right back in just a minute with Teresa and I and God's Emergence. Welcome back, everyone. My producer had to look that up, by the way, and see if this is happening anywhere else about the AI programs on the cameras. Thank you very much, by the way, Celeste. Okay, here we go. Start with yourself on these letters, first of all. Go to your friends and families. If you have questions about them and you want them to have prayers or the angels or guides in their letters, do that. You know, the one thing I thought about that I have put down here is your pets that you haven't seen for a while. Why not write about them? Wonder how they're doing. And as they got over the Rainbow Bridge. Huh? Some will reincarnate and come back to us, and some of us don't. I know there's one special one that I'll be waiting for when I go home. And he'll be waiting for me. And that's been informed to me by one of my guides. And the thing about it is pets live on a higher spiritual vibration than we do. They live on a higher consciousness. So they're able to speak to us and understand every word we're saying. A lot of people don't think that way. The thing is, parrots use their full brain capacity, almost 100% or more. That's why they're able to basically have a conversation with you and know what you're talking about. I used to have a cat that would sit on top of my parrot's cage, and I had to finally put a blanket on top of it, right? Because the parrot would sit there and tickle at the cat's feet. Well, all of a sudden, the cat learned, or the bird learned, here, Kiki, meow. Well, the bird kept going, here, Kiki, meow, and the cat would jump on the cage. So think about how precious that really is. That's a gift from the Creator that He gave us all the animals, all the birds, all the elementals, everything out here. That's for us to use and have enjoyment and to bring answers to us. And that's what I mean by using the answers that are given to us. Sometimes it's just in the eyes of your dog or the eyes of your cat. So think about that. Or sometimes just a dragonfly or a butterfly or something, you might just get that answer right where you're standing there. Now realizing by staring at that dragonfly or butterfly, you got that answer. Letting go. Let go of something that may be bothering you. Dragonflies also stand for seeing through illusions. And sometimes we all get that thing where we just have our rose-colored glasses on. And I have a bad habit of that because I want to see good in everything, no matter what. And sometimes those rose-colored glasses have been knocked off of me and say, okay, now look at the truth of what's happening around you. So why would I not take this journal and write everything in it? And this is going to be a thick one, see? Lots of pages. And use that to write to the Creator, or Master Jesus, or whoever you're comfortable with. And write this letter and say, okay, I'm having a problem seeing everything through rose-colored glasses. Can you help me use my discernment better? And I'm going to tell you, they will come tell you, if you don't use your discernment correctly, you eventually learn your lesson. Then you go, and they say, okay, what'd you learn off that? Or they watch you fall and pick yourself back up. It's all up to us what we do with it. And I've fallen and had to pick myself back up. So what do you think about that, Teresa? You've been around long enough.
Oh, a long time. A lot of times you do get to repeat lessons frequently, or you'll pick up a little piece of it and then you go, and then you forget, you go do it again. It's a journey, but until you learn it, and once you learn it, though, it sticks. But sometimes some of those are hard to learn, especially if you're compassionate and you like helping people. And you get in the habit of, maybe putting others before you and what you really need, and I think those are pretty common things with a lot of goddesses that are out there, kind of leading the charge and trying to do things. It's very easy to delete your own energies and things that you need without even really thinking about it. Then you got to go back for days and recharge.
Right.
So those are lessons I think a lot of us are learning right now. And
True.
sometimes
True.
not the easiest of ways.
No, no, not at all. When I deplete my energy, it takes days for it to come back.
Mhm.
And so I have to be very careful about that. So I'm learning some new healing techniques, by the way. And we talk about that on the show, but it's ways of not depleting your energy and not giving your energy away. So we'll talk about that again. So the reasoning behind all this is one is to make you happier, make you joyful, make you know that you're going to be okay for who and what you are, no matter where you're at, and give to the homeless. I'm going to say that one more time. There's so many places where they can go and get free things. So like blankets, clothing, shoes, whatever you don't need and that are not all trash up, give that to them. Um, and I found out they're all like, just doing their journey to teach us a lesson. How lucky we are to have our homes. How lucky we are to have the radio platform we have to go through. And a lot of this was done and put in motion by the creator for us to be here. This was his idea. So yeah, that's something that we have to honor and respect also. Right, Teresa?
That's right. There's much to be grateful for. And even when you come through the end of a particular lesson and you look back, you can be grateful for it
Right.
because it does change you.
Right. So I have friends that have changed their lives completely, being in one situation to another. And, I tell them about this writing a letter to creator and why. And when they see this, and and some will watch show us about up on YouTube if they're not watching live right now, and you can listen to it on Spotify and on demand and stuff. But actually, going back into YouTube or on Transformation Talk Network, you can watch it live. I think again, but the thing is that when you see this, you see the reasoning behind everything of all of this. And the reasoning is to center yourself, calm yourself down enough where you don't have so many questions all at once. So if you're anything like me, you want all the answers at one time. Okay. Not going to happen, believe me. So write just a few questions down and see what happens. Don't be afraid to ask. That's one thing. So many people think that you got to act this way or that way. Just be yourself. That's what the creator wants from all of us, to be ourselves and our true authentic self of who we are. He's not trying to mold you. He loves you for who you are. He's just here to help guide you, just like everyone else. Master Jesus especially. He's right there. Master Merlin, Kuan Yin. She's hilarious. She, as you know, Trisha, she is hilarious. And the thing about this, they're all here to help. So take advantage of all of them. Pele, Mariah, Isis, Gaia, all of us that are here now. So, we got 5 minutes for the end break, but the one thing I want to say is release emotions that no longer serve you, please. The pain, the anger, the mental pain, the mental anger, which is affecting your physical, your emotional, mental, spiritual bodies, all 4 parts. So the physical here, 3 feet out, the emotional, another 3 feet out, the mental body way out here. You can't even get up the camera, but way up by Teresa's head, let's just say. And then the spirit body. And the spirit body's kind of like, okay, we're happy, but we don't talk much about the spirit body. But the thing about it is, writing with your hand makes a big difference. I would not use, if you write with your computer, that's fine. Print it out and take it somewhere away from electronics. A lot of people use their phones to write notes in. You can do that and then read it out loud. A lot of people say, Dear God, dear Creator, dear Master Jesus, how do you want to say it? Hi there, this is Dr. Brie. I need help today. Be simple. You don't have to be so formal. And, I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just giving you different ideas on how you can do it without feeling like you have to be prim and proper. Just be yourself. That's all I ask. Cleansing and releasing. I want to go back over that one more time. When you cleanse everything in you, you're washing yourself clean. Remember, that's been done so you don't bring it back. Release everything. There's a situation that happened to me not too long ago. And I realized that today, I don't want to bring it up again. About this, just one person. I don't even want to bring it up again. I don't care. They've done what they've done. They have to live with it. I don't. That's not my problem no more. I did the right thing, as you know, Teresa. And what that person did, that's up to them now and the creator, not me. So why would I hold on to that, do you think?
I would think you got a mind thought pattern that's going in a loop, and why
Right.
would you want to hang on to that? But once you have that awareness, and you can pay attention to that, you might be surprised how fast you can let those things go. And the writing process is a really good one for that.
I have somebody that, we text back and forth, and especially since this threat thing's been going on. But, I'm going to tell you what, texting has learned a lot I've learned a lot from texting. I forget a word, I have to go back and edit and this and that. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay, slow down, take your time. It doesn't need to get to that person that fast, or you choose that fast, or anybody else. But, we just want to enjoy our time on this planet also. The creator did not want us here unhappy. That's the other thing. Want us here happy, doing our jobs, the missions we've all been set on. Everybody is here for a reason. That's the one thing. Nobody is infallible. We all make mistakes, but we all can pick ourselves back up. So tonight, if you decide to write your letter, make sure that you just write it for yourself at first. Write it for love of yourself and what you know is right for you. Well, we're about done with the show today. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and enjoy letter writing to the creator. God's bless, and we'll see you again on the God's Emergence, where we emerge together, emerge better.
Thank you for listening to the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie Gibbs. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 2 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to experience Spiritual Pathway that addresses your physical health, emotional frequency, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being, all in perfect harmony. This isn't just an ideal. It is the comprehensive nature of the Goddess Emergence Show with Dr. Brie, a spiritual leader, healer, and trance medium who, alongside the Goddess Bell and the Creator, offer messages from the Masters never shared or released on the planet. Beyond the show, Dr. Brie offers individual and group sessions at drbriegibbs.com. That's drbriegibbs.com. We hope to see you next time.